Cool, thank you. What is up? Hello. I'm doing this live basically to get people to go to the podcast. That's right. Stanzi Potenza and I have started a podcast, and it's really funny, and you should go watch it. If you aren't already following Late to the Party on Spotify or Apple Music or wherever you listen to podcasts, then you are making a huge mistake. You must listen to the podcast. Yes, you like the podcast. You like the podcast. You get a podcast. You get a podcast. Everyone who is cool will listen to the podcast. What happened? Nothing happened. Everything's good. This is a jasmine green tea with foam. It's pretty good. I like it. I wanted to give myself a nice little break before I go back to work. Yes, the podcast was fire. Good. We've got our second episode just dropped. We have 2 more episodes already recorded. We should be recording 2 more episodes next week. I'm glad you like it. It's, hopefully it'll spawn into something significant. I feel like I've been listening to a lot of podcasts, and I don't know, I like the idea of just doing very natural content where it's just me and a friend talking. And Stanzi and I are very good friends, and we riff off each other really nicely. So it's called Late to the Party. It is on Apple Music, Spotify. We have a couple sponsors lining up. Ooh. Oh, thank you, Ender Frog. I really appreciate that. One thing that's problematic for me is it's tough for me to get sponsors because I'm such a huge jerk. I make fun of so many people that in every marketing department there's at least somebody who doesn't like me. And so I'm really happy that I'm starting something that's, different from the usual shit posts where we've got a couple of legitimate sponsors lined up. So it could be really, really cool. Will I ever go back to my old vids, like double it and give it to the next person? Guys, I roll with the trends. It's not smart to always be stuck doing the same thing. It gets boring, and, sure, some of my different, arcs might have been better than others, but at the end of the day, I need to sort of evolve with the times. I do love shitposting, and I do love making fun of people. I think things like Angel Shot, I could make reference to it, but part of the reason Angel Shot worked was because tons of other people were doing it non-ironically at the time. And I am, you're right, I am hopping on the podcast trend today, very late. Normally I'm pretty quick when it comes to jumping on trends, but for the podcast thing, I am super late. Every jerk's got a podcast. And now I'm just another one of those. So whatever, add it to your list of podcasts to listen to so you get a notification whenever it comes up. Because look, if I start becoming a podcaster, I'll be able to take care of myself better. I'll actually be able to be healthier because the amount of time I spend shooting and editing, and then the time I spend with my family, hanging out with my son, I don't really go to the gym anymore. I go as often as I can, but not as much as I used to. And I definitely know I'm losing lifespan because of this. Because I'm working, if you want to get technical, I'm working 2 jobs. I'm glad you like the new last meal vids. I want to see how they perform. It's really tough to do an actual series on short form content because it's so difficult to make sure that the old viewers come back. That is always been one of my big problems. That was a problem with Scumbag Dad, with the Angel Shot series. Once we get past a certain point, it's very difficult to make sure that the people who are interested in the series actually get to see new episodes. So it happened a bunch of times with Scumbag Dad where people wouldn't see episodes for a while, and then we'd be in a totally different thing, on a totally different arc. Why are there so many adult content actresses in my videos? There's a simple explanation for this. Those spicy models are very funny. They're willing to do dark humor, and they're willing to hang out and shoot with very little notice because their schedules tend to be pretty open. What happens is I'll shoot with one, and then that video will do well, and then one of their friends will contact me to shoot, And what's more is they trust me because I'm a happily married man. Unlike most people in their sort of environment, I'm not trying to hook up with them. So I have a I have a really good reputation. So like, why wouldn't I, utilize these folks as actresses? Who else is going to do like a sloppy toppy with a twist joke or like a drug joke? There are a lot of actors and comedians who, well, I'll pitch a skit to them and they'll be like, nah, that's too much death, or I might lose a brand deal. So, I hope I can put that question to the rest. Thank you, Charper Dove. You make me very happy with that donation. The vids where I get money are never real. I always fake everything because I want to tell the audience, I want to show the audience how easy it is to trick you. I want to show you how foolish you are for believing in people who stage videos. That's basically it. So anyways, I hope I answered your question about the spicy models. I can answer any more questions that you've got. If your canine tooth, it's eaten up completely by a cavity, you're probably going to lose it, or you'll need a root canal. That's tough. Yeah, I switched. If everything is fake, doesn't make them real. No, if everything is fake, it makes it all fake. I'm trying to fight that concept. Dan is saying why don't I find people who are actors, not OnlyFans? And I'll tell you why, is because when I encounter people who are regular actor types, sometimes they don't want to do the joke because it's too dark. I do a lot of really dark humor, and a lot of these folks have brand deals with like Disney, and they, as a Disney influencer, they don't want to be in a scene where there's implied illegal substance use. So there you go. There's the answer to your question. Yeah, reputation works differently, and it does. And the funny thing is, like, a lot of the actors, like they're numb. I think it's to their detriment, to be honest with you. I think if they leaned into these like weirder roles, like if it's on my channel, I don't think it'll ruin them. But I get it. I don't push people. So that's kind of where I'm at there. Yeah, I'm an actual orthodontist. I got to go back to work in like 7 minutes. So yes, definitely a doctor. How do I pay the people who make vids with me? We all collaborate, really, except for a few specific circumstances. We do like collaboration days where we all get together. Now, there are people who, if they have a specialized skill, I'll pay them. And I'll almost always take people out to dinner or drinks or something. And then, if a video blows up like really crazy, we talk about the finances of it. But usually, like, let's be honest with each other, most of my videos flop. Most of my videos flop. So when we hang out, when you see those like tons of people in the videos, usually it's like a group hangout day, and we do a shit ton of videos. And I don't make any guarantees for money because the videos may flop, and that's awkward. And everybody who I hang out with understands that. Speaking of which, it's also like, side note on the spicy models thing is I think a lot of them like to work with me because the payment they get out of it is new subscribers to their channel. So they have an ulterior motive to show themselves to my audience, in exchange for essentially what comes down to free acting. Hey, thanks for the tip. I'm going to thank everybody who gives me a tip. So YouTube short of me doing an interview. Yeah, I like doing podcasts. I like doing interviews. I feel like I repeat myself a lot. I definitely repeat myself a ton of times on the podcast because I'm always raging about kindness content and fake charity stuff. How do I make fun of trends in shorts but make it work long term? I don't know, honestly. I throw a lot of stuff against the wall. I fail a lot, guys. Like, I don't always get bangers. That's why I film so many videos, is because I count on most things flopping. I've been falling upwards for ages. I can't bring back Scumbag Dad because A, the times have changed. I don't think it'll be responded to as well. And B, all my ideas for Scumbag Dad are like progressively more and more violent. And there's no format for it. TikTok won't allow it. YouTube will demonetize it. It's bad. As an orthodontist, do I believe mewing works? I believe that mewing is okay, but I feel like mewing has been co-opted by the looks-maxing community to be something it's not, where they tell adults that you can reshape your entire jaw just by mewing. And I think that's the problem with mewing, because I think people think of it incorrectly. Let Wow, 1,192 people? Man, I've gotten a lot more popular. I used to think I couldn't get more than like 200 people in these lives. I think I'm gonna have to come back later now that I know my lives actually get decent viewership. So, thanks so much for supporting. I'm gonna have to go back to work soon. I do appreciate you all very much, especially the people who gave money, like Y and and RIP. I have not tried the thing you are referring to, but I understand that is a joke you're making. How do I find a genuine audience that enjoys your content? It's just luck, honestly. I kept throwing shit against the wall until it stuck. I changed a lot. I didn't really want to be a shit poster. I wanted to make music, but the audience found me because I kept on doing stuff. Anyways, I'm gonna have to go because I'm gonna drive back to work. I do appreciate you all. Please go to listen to the podcast. There's 2 episodes out. It's called Late to the Party with Stanzi Potenza. People do recognize me at my job. TX2 videos are awesome. Yeah, I think he's fun to make videos for. And I'm going to answer 2 more questions. My most expensive watch is probably my Rolex Daytona. All right, and I'm going to head out. Y'all are lovely. I will do more lives. I made $52 on this live. I'm going to do lives more often. Hey, this is how I'm going to pay for lunch. You're all great. Keep an eye out for more stuff. Goodbye. It wasn't a joke. You are very funny. All right. This is the official goodbye this time. Goodbye.